everybody, Jewel back again, another super cool astrology video. And today I thought I would address composite moon square to Jupiter. And what happens when this occurs between two people in a couple's composite chart. So the composite chart is the midpoint chart between two natal charts, where we put two charts together and we find the midpoint position between their planets and their points, and it gives us an idea of how they function when entering into a relationship. So the synastry chart is really how we individually feel about each other, what's attracted us to each other, what's going on a day-to-day basis. The composite chart is more the larger narrative or the story of what happens between two people. So it's very much like when you break up, people are sitting around talking about your relationship. They're talking about the composite chart when they're doing that. So the moon in the composite chart is the feelings, the habitual emotional relating between two people, how this occurs between them, and largely represents also the female in the relationship and how she's emotionally doing and reacting, what's going on with her. So Jupiter is the expansion between the two people, the beliefs, the philosophies, their sense of where they're going in life, what makes them feel like they are growing. And the moon and Jupiter actually have a very different kind of style, in that the moon is really about finding security through what is known and through what is, what we can get from the past, or our habits, our emotional habits. And Jupiter is where we can find our security through things that are not familiar, through growing out of things, through going towards things, through traveling towards things. So they have a different different meanings to them. So when we have the square between Jupiter and the moon in a composite chart, we can see that the ongoing emotional exchanges between the two partners is really not hitting home in a way that is emotionally fulfilling. So we can see that the emotional growth habitually over time between the two people really happens as a result of this kind of combat regarding their long-term aspirations, or what gives them both a sense of security through pursuing their dreams. So, this is not like Saturn, which is our concrete goals. It's, Saturn is the decisions and the have-tos in life. Jupiter is the choices and the wants, the want-tos. So a great deal of complaining can come into a relationship, often from who's being represented by the moon, about the lack of emotional connection with the dreams of the relationship. So, they get into this habit of emotionally relating to each other, where there is this chronic dissatisfaction. We're complaining about their lack of being able to emotionally connect in a way that is driving them towards this sense of emotional growth. That becomes part of the bond. So at least the moon person generally dramatizes or very much focuses on the lack of being able to connect the emotions with the aspirations of the relationship. So they must come to an understanding of what their individual security needs are regarding where they're going and what they want their mutual long-term goals to be. So what makes them happy individually? They have to get down to this, to the bottom of this. What makes them happy? Because we're seeing that they're not meeting in such a way that the things of Jupiter are on the same page. They're not getting fulfillment from the same pursuit of happiness. So this is not one where they have to, go accept that they have to go their separate ways when it comes to this, or they're never going to grow together. They actually can. They can make this one work. This is one where you have to sit down and you have to be really clear about what emotionally fulfills you both. What you want for your partnership. Where you want your partnership to ultimately be headed. Because there's going to be some differences there. We can get on the same page with this square because typically there is a certain amount of compromise that can bridge the gap between what we both need to, make us feel like we have a sense of security and joy at the same time, and what we need in the relationship to provide that as well. So you have to be able to be really clear about what it is you expect to get out of life. And you both then have to come to a plan or an agreement about how you can both pursue your joy in such a way that it is not creating a separative effect in you. So, for example, this is one that can show up in the composite charts of people that have religious differences or philosophical differences that, really show that one's idea or perception of what it takes to fulfill themselves in a growth-oriented way when it comes to their religion or their ideals, their future, the trajectory of their future is very much based on their idea of what their religion or their life philosophy is asking for. So this can show two people that have a very different idea of what that is. So they need to share their individual concepts of what is ideal in their mind when it comes to their dreams, aspiration, religion, what they've been taught. And when they can really be clear about that, there is actually a way that they can connect where maybe they aren't believing the same things exactly or having the same dreams exactly, but they can connect in such a way where they can compromise enough where they can both do what it takes to bring a sense of mutual satisfaction into the relationship. So it's going to, take maybe the couple that has religious differences, perhaps the one person agrees to go to the other's church with them sometimes and sit with them or show up at their activities with them and, show a certain amount of support. They don't need to believe it or take it on those philosophies of that religion for themselves, but they can go out of their comfort zone enough to support their mate or their partner in such a way where there is some sense of we are experiencing this together. So the religious person or the philosophical person, has a sense that they're being able to bring their mate into that part of their life, that it's not separate for them. Maybe it's not, completely on the same page, but we have a sense of what each other's about. And so there's a little bit more commonality between us, a little bit more of a connection there. So this is one that's kind of tricky to handle, but you can if you are understanding about it and you are willing to come out of your comfort zone enough to do what it takes to connect with your partner in a way where you both feel like you are mutually getting some amount of understanding about what it is you are both really after in the long run. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already. You can find me on the internet at truthandaspectastrology.com. Yes, I do private consultation. I am mainly a relationship and intimacy astrologer, but I interpret all types of charts under the sun. You can find me on Facebook at Truth and Aspect Astrology, where I do all kinds of articles and writings over there, birthday descriptions, astro weather forecasts. So find me over there, and I'll be back soon with more super cool videos. Bye-bye.